Hello everybody, you are welcome to this channel. I am Atanu Betal and in this video we discuss about atomic radius. Radius of an atom is defined as the most probable distance between the outermost cell of an atom and to the nucleus. Means atomic size is defined as or atomic radius you can say atomic radius is defined as the distance between the nucleus to the outermost cell of an atom. This is the nucleus and outermost cell, this one. So if we consider atom as a sphere, as a spherical object, that time the distance between the center and the outermost cell of an atom is called the atomic radius. So atomic radius is measured using the unit of picometer and nanometer or Armstrong. This unit also used to measure the atomic radius. So atomic radius, you clear about the topic that what is atomic radius. Atomic radius is the distance between the outermost cell of an atom to the nucleus of the atom, because if we consider the atom is a sphere, atom is like a sphere, that time the radius between the outermost cell and the nucleus is the atomic radius. And atomic radius is divided into three types. One is covalent radius. This is the division of atomic radius. One is covalent radius, two is van der Waals radius, and three is metallic radius. Atomic radius divided into three types. One is covalent radius, two is van der Waals radius, and three is metallic radius. So these are the classification of atomic radius in three types: metallic radius, van der Waals radius, and covalent radius. So now look at the different types of radius. Before studying these different types of radius, we have to know why we consider these different types of atomic radius. Because to measure the size of an atom or to measure the radius of an atom, we face some difficulties. As for example, first difficulty is, according to Heisenberg uncertainty principle, you cannot actually get the position of an electron in the outermost cell. So for this reason it is not possible to determine exact radius, okay, or to measure the radius of an atom. And second difficulty of measuring the atom is, individually you cannot measure one atom like individual atom radius you cannot be measured, because atom is a very tiny particle. So you cannot measure directly the radius of an atom, because atom is a very small particle. So for this tiny particle, small particle, so for this reason we can use other methods for finding the radius of an atom. Third reason is, when atom is bonded with other atoms, that time it is impossible to determine actually the outermost cell, and then the radius cannot be calculated exactly. So for this reason there are some difficulties in measuring or in the measurement of the atomic radius. So for this reason we can measure the atomic radius using the internuclear distance. Using the help of internuclear distance we can measure atomic radius. And with using internuclear distance, we measure the atomic radius in three ways. One way is covalent radius measurement, another one is van der Waals radius measurement, and another one is metallic radius measurement. So metallic radius measurement and covalent radius measurement and van der Waals radius measurement, we have these three types of atomic radius measurement. So at first we discuss about covalent radius measurement. In covalent radius measurement, only for covalently bonded compound, when a covalent covalently bonded molecule, like it is example of hydrogen. For hydrogen, this one is the internuclear distance of two hydrogen atoms, that is 74 picometer, and they two hydrogen atom forming covalent bonding. So the distance between the nucleus of one atom and another atom is called internuclear distance. These two distances, this one distance means between these two nucleus is called internuclear distance, and when internuclear distance is divided by 2, it's giving us the covalent radius. For hydrogen it's 37 picometer, and internuclear distance of hydrogen, for hydrogen it's 74 picometer. So for this reason, this is the covalent radius for hydrogen element in the H2 molecule. Next one is van der Waals radius. For van der Waals radius, suppose iodine gas, and for this case the molecules are in distance, means this one is one I2 molecule, this one another I2 molecule, and this one is internuclear distance of iodine, this point to this point, this is the internuclear distance of iodine, and it's 430 picometer. This one is the internuclear distance of iodine, and when we divide this internuclear distance by 2, we get 215, and this 215 picometer is the van der Waals radius of iodine substance. So in this way we can measure the van der Waals radius, and for iodine we also can measure covalent radius. Here the covalent radius is 133 picometer. Covalent radius of iodine, and it's 133 picometer. So this one is about the van der Waals radius of atom. Next one is about metallic radius. In case of metallic radius, for metallic radius also be called as crystalline radius. So to measure crystalline radius, what we have to do, in crystal form, two atoms of metal are touching touching each other. So for this reason, this one is the internuclear distance. This full distance is called internuclear distance of two atoms, and if we make half of this distance, means this one is called R metallic radius, is the metallic radius. Okay, internuclear distance divided by 2, we divide the internuclear distance by half, and is called the metallic radius. So in this way we can consider atomic radius, because we cannot measure atomic radius directly. We can because of some difficulties, atomic radius cannot be make directly, so it is possible only to study or measure atomic radius in other terms. So these are the terms like covalent radius, van der Waals radius, and metallic radius. So I think you understand these things, that how this radius is considered, atomic radius is divided in these three types. So from this conception you can easily solve a numerical problem if the atomic radius any type of radius, covalent radius or van der Waals radius is given to you, then you can calculate the internuclear distance, or internuclear distance is given to you, then you can calculate the van der Waals radius or covalent radius, whatever. Okay, so and this for covalent radius, it is for homoatomic molecule. For you can also calculate it for heteroatomic molecule also. Suppose for HCl you can calculate the covalent radius. So in this case the radius of H and radius of Cl equal to radius of HCl. In this case the formula is suppose this one is hydrogen and this one is chlorine, this one is hydrogen and this one is chlorine. So in this case this one will happen. This one will be the radius of covalent radius of hydrogen and this one would be the covalent radius of chlorine, and the full is the radius of HCl. Internuclear distance between the hydrogen and Cl, that is the full. So if you know it, or this one or this one, any one of this, then you can calculate easily the other. So this is the way of calculating covalent radius for heteroatomic substance, heteroatomic compound. This is the way of calculating covalent radius. So van der Waals radius, it is formula is R van der Waals equal to internuclear distance between two atoms by 2, and if you use this formula easily can calculate the van der Waals radius of substance. Okay, so these are the process of calculation of van der Waals radius, metallic radius and covalent radius. Now the discussion is about factors affecting atomic radius. Which factors are affecting the atomic radius? Number one factor is nuclear charge. If nuclear charge is high or increases, that time atomic size decreases, and if nuclear charge decreases, yes, this one is correct. If in nuclear charge increases means atomic size decreases. You have to know it that nuclear charge increases means atomic size decrease, because nucleus, consider nucleus is here at the center of the atom. If its charge increase, then its pull nuclear pool increase, and for this reason of nuclear pool increase more due to the presence of high nuclear charge, the atomic size get compressed. Another important factor for size of atom, it is number of cells. Number of cells is very important. Suppose an atom has only K cell, and another atom has L cell. So number of cell K cell, L cell, then you can see also M cell. So with the increase of number of cells, the number of cell increases, size of atom increases. Size of atom increases with increase of number of cells, because number of cells, addition of cells causing the size of atom increasing. So these are the two factors that are affecting the atomic radius. Atomic radius is affected by size of atom, this one is by nuclear charge and the addition of cells. If cells are added to the atomic system, that time the size of atom increases. Next important thing, variations. Variations of atomic size down the group. Down the group of the periodic table, if you go any group, go down the group in any group of the periodic table, that time out of the 18 group, down the group atomic size increases due to number of cell increase. In down the group, number of cells gets increased, and for this reason atomic size increases down the group. The more addition of cell occur down the group, so for this reason atomic size increases down the group. And if we consider about the left to right, atomic size decreases, okay, due to left to right in any period of the periodic table. Out of the 7 periods in periodic table, if we move any period from left to right, the atomic size decreases due to increase nuclear charge. Due to increase nuclear charge, what happens due to increase nuclear charge? See here, if positive charge increases more, that time positive charge will pull the outermost shell more tightly, and as a result of the pull of nucleus attracts the electron cloud, outermost electron cloud more tightly due to the increase of nuclear charge, and for this reason atomic size get compressed because left to right nuclear charge increases 1 unit in each atom, one by one atom. 1 unit of nuclear charge increases, and with the increase of one more electron for 1 by 1 atom, and for this reason with greater nuclear pool the atomic size get compressed. So this is the reason why left to right atomic size decrease. So this is about the variation of atomic size down the left to right and down the group. And atomic size variations are also have some exceptions in the transition series or transition elements. There are some exceptions in atomic radius, like lanthanide contraction. For the variation of atomic radius, lanthanide contraction is very important thing. Lanthanide contraction is very important to discuss about, but we do not discuss it right in this video. We discuss it in another video, that what is actually the lanthanide contraction. And due to lanthanide contraction, the down the group size of element remains same for the 3D 4D 4D series and 5D series. Radius of atom almost same for the 4D and 3D series element, means transition element. The radius of atom is almost constant. Okay, it is almost same, and it is due to the lanthanide contraction. Lanthanide contraction is the factor by which the left to right the atomic size generally increases left to right because of the addition of number of cells, and more number of cells increase the size of atom. But due to lanthanide contraction, the size of element remains same down the group. This is the case of down the group, and we discuss about this lanthanide contraction in a separate video, because lanthanide contraction is a very important topic in atomic size related problem. So for this reason, this video is from this means this is the total discussions in this video about atomic size, atomic radius, and three types of atomic radius: covalent radius, van der Waals radius, and metallic radius. And I think you understand this each radius and why each radius is considered, how each radius is measured, and this is the complete discussion about atomic radius that I wanted to make, and it's finished. And if you find this video is useful to you and you get some knowledge, then you can like this video. And if you find that I need to add some more other informations about the atomic size, then you can write in the comment section, or you can write your any question, any opinion to this comment section of this video. And if you continually like to watch this type of video, then you can subscribe this video, or you can watch this type of videos from the playlist that I made for this channel. And you can find the chapter wise playlist. From the playlist you also can watch this type of all videos. Thank you for watching this video.